Well, that one didn't work. That one didn't work either. Maybe this one will work. Stay tuned and we'll find out. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll spend some time at the range, and every now and then we'll reconvene out in my shop back in Houston, or here at the farm in Louisiana, where I'll build some fun projects, and we'll share an adventure or two that'll make even a grown man smile. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at the effect that velocity has on the terminal performance of cast bullets. And when I say terminal performance, I'm talking about both the energy transfer and also the penetration. And we're going to be using some bullets from Cast Performance. They're 405 grain hard cast. They call them heat treated solids in the 4570. And these are gas check bullets, which means they have a copper gas check swedged. Let me see if I can get this to focus. They have a copper gas check swedged on the base of the bullet, and that copper gas check allows you to use that reduces the amount of leading. I'll just leave it at that for now. But I've got two hand loads I've worked up. One load is fairly high velocity and one is fairly low velocity, but I don't know how high and how low because I've never chronographed these two particular loads. And so the first thing we're going to do is to step right over there and shoot both of them through the chronograph and see what kind of numbers we're talking about. And then we'll start getting the test set up. And I'll just give you a heads up. One of the things we're going to do is the coupon test. I'm actually going to implement some of the changes that were recommended, suggested in the comments of my two brush gun caliber videos. And we'll talk about that. So I think you're going to want to see that. I don't know what the results are going to be, but the test setup is certainly going to be a little bit different. And then we're going to set up some reactive targets, and that's going to be the fun part. But I do hope that even though we have some fun, I hope that we can record some data where there is a visible difference between the high velocities and low velocities. So first thing let's do is record some velocities. And I'm going to use my Winchester 1886 to send these rounds downrange. And you saw the component pieces, and here are the loaded rounds. Big old 4570 bullets with cartridges with a hard cast gas check bullet from Cast Performance. And if memory serves me, these are the high velocity rounds. And so let me send these through the chronograph and see what we get. Okay, that one was 1840. That one was 1843, and I'm going to call it a day with those because we're not trying to do any kind of real workup here, just getting an idea for the velocities, the velocity difference. And so here goes the low velocity. Did I shoot all those without my safety glasses? Anyway, that one was 1508. And that one was 1441. So we're gonna, I'll crunch some numbers and put them up here for you guys to look at. But that's what we've got. We got plus 1800 and down around 1500. So let's get the targets, let's get the coupon set up. And, you know, I really appreciate you guys jumping in on the comments and holding me accountable. And, you know, and so we're going to actually roll in some of the changes. I mentioned that in the intro. We're going to roll in some of the changes that you mentioned. And let's go get set up and we'll talk about it. Okay, we've got the test set up in about the same place, but you'll notice it's taking me a lot longer to get down to the coupons. And that's because we have moved the test setup, changed the test setup from being at about 5 yards and then the target at 20 yards beyond. Now we have the coupons at 20 yards and the target is 20 yards beyond that. So we have the same distance from target to coupon as we did before, but we've given ourselves a much longer time for the bullet to stabilize. And I'll explain why that 20-yard distance from the target to the coupon is still usable information, because a lot of you guys thought that was too far. But let me comment on that in just a minute. But you can see we have the same, basically very non-uniform test coupons. And just so I don't have to answer it again in the comment, a coupon is something, it's an engineering term that refers to something that you're going to stress to the point of breaking. It's a test coupon. And so I'm using that term very loosely to describe these bunches of sticks. It sounds a whole lot more professional, if you know what I mean. And so if we look back at the target, you can see the coupons are going to be here, and we look back at the bench. I'm sorry, and so the rifle's back there at 20 yards, and then we've moved the target 20 yards further out here, and I've got a different target frame because I was poking holes in my really nice thing. So my other target frame. So let's get back up there. Let me shoot just like we did before. I'll shoot 2 groups. I'll shoot a group of 3 at the target, and then I'll put the coupons up, and I'll shoot 3 shots through the coupons just like we did before. And we're going to do this real quick because you've probably watched those other videos, at least I hope you have. And so we're going to go through the shooting part pretty quick, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. So let me get going here. Okay, I'm going to shoot 3 shots at the target. It's right there. I'm going to shoot 3 shots at the bear target, establish the group location, and then I'm going to shoot 3 rounds, 1 round at 3 different individual coupons to establish the deflection point, just like we did in the other 2 videos. So I'm not going to go through this because we've been through it before. I'm going to shoot real quick, and then we'll look at results. And then we can go start having some fun with our reactive targets. And these are the low velocity rounds. Well, I'm pretty sure I pulled that second shot, so we're not going to count that when it comes to location. Okay, here are the 3 coupons from the low velocity load. Clean, good hit. So let me do the same shooting now with the high velocity. Okay, our friend was going to ramble a little bit there, and so let me just go through this really quick, and it's pretty amazing stuff. Here's the low velocity rounds. 1, 2, 3 shots without coupons, 1, 2, 3 shots with coupons. An amazing change from a couple of weeks ago when the shots on coupons were spread out over 12 inches or so. Amazing change. Now here's the high velocity target. There's a lot more shots here because I was having a hard time hitting the coupon. And so the shots that matter are 1, 2, 3 without coupons, these 3 shots right here. And then the shots where I actually hit a coupon were 1, 2, and 3. And so again, the change from a couple of weeks ago when we did the brush gun cartridge videos, the change is amazing. What do I attribute it to? And I'll tell you what, I'm guessing a little bit, but it has to be partly because of the harder cast bullet, the 18 to 21 Burnell versus the 16 Burnell. I think it also has to do with the size of the Mepla, because the Mepla on the Missouri Bullet Company bullet was only 0.3 inches, and the one on this Cast Performance bullet that we shot today was 0.37. So it's a much bigger Mepla. I think the combination of the two, but you guys tell me what you think in the comments. I was surprised, but let's get back to the reactive targets, because now that I've had supper, you can tell it's getting late in the day, and so this is actually happening after the fact, the explanation. But the reactive targets were very interesting. Let's see how that all worked out. Okay, this is the part that gets fun, but it's also the least scientific of the test, because I have 2 watermelons, and we're going to have the same number of targets for both the high velocity and the low velocity, but I've got 2 watermelons, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1-gallon water jugs and 3 2-gallon water jugs. And so is that going to be enough to stop the Cast Performance hard cast bullet? By the way, Cast Performance advertises that bullet at a Burnell hardness of 18 to 21. And one of these days I'll ask them why there's such a variation. But if we bust out of the water jugs, we do have some soft sand down here. And so I hope to be able to pull those bullets out of the soft sand. We're only going to have 2 shots here. So, but those are some pretty good size. Those are some pretty good sized watermelons. Okay, now if I can just remember to turn on the GoPro. Well, this is the fun part of the video, and we're going to do some look at some terminal ballistics. You know, the energy transfer, that how we'll measure that is how big do the watermelons blow up, and the penetration, it's just going to be how deep they penetrate. And the third piece of data that we're looking for is, will they stay on track, or are they going to blast off to the right or left like all of our targets, all of our bullets did last summer and fall when we were shooting at watermelons and jello-filled pumpkins. We just couldn't keep bullets on track very long, not the hard cast. And so that's what we're fixing to do. Let me get loaded up. I do have the low velocity round, and I may need a shower after this. And once we're done, it won't take the bees long to find all this watermelon. And so probably tomorrow I won't be doing much work down here unless I have my bee suit on. But low velocity through the Winchester 1886, 4570. What a beautiful package. And we're going to make some red rainbows, I hope. Okay, we got that bullet. At least if we stopped it, it bounced off of the second 2.5 gallon water jug and fell down somewhere or glanced up. I don't know where it went, but we're going to take a minute and try to find it. Then I'll get set up for the high velocity shot, and we'll see where that takes us. Okay, I was able to catch that bullet, and it took a while because it went through the watermelon, all the 1 gallon water jugs. It went through the first 2.5 gallon water jug, bounced off the third one, went up in the air and landed a good distance from where it should have been. At least it wasn't where we thought it was going to be. And so I've got the high velocity round in here now, and let's see. And plus I've added 2 extra 2.5 gallon water jugs. So if we can keep the bullet going straight, we might actually catch it. But we do have the sandbank behind us, and so it will be slowed down enough we should be able to dig it out of the sandbank if it goes through all of this. But, you know, some people would say higher velocity, less penetration. Let's find out, at least in this test. I got to tell you, seeing is believing, so I'm going to take you down there and show you. Okay, in the other test, we went through the watermelon, 7 water jugs. We went through this water jug, bounced off of this, this water jug, bounced off of this water jug, and the bullet landed down here. In this case, we went through all of the watermelons. We went through that. We went through that. We went through this. And there's a big dent right there in the 4th 1 gallon water jug. So it only went through 2 watermelons and 3 water jugs. Now, I've got to find that bullet because it's right, it just stopped right there. It's definitely not in that jug. Okay, it's the end of the day and we're tired, right? And so I was going to walk off, and I've already raked the ground looking for that bullet, and I didn't even think that the bullet bounced off of this and went back into this water jug. And sure enough, there it is. So let's pour it out and see what it looks like. Now that's very, very interesting. Okay. Higher velocity, deformed the bullet, didn't penetrate, transferred a lot more energy. It's too much to think about at the end of a video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but there's the high velocity bullet. Quick overview, the hard cast, large Mapla bullets did better going through the test coupons. Could it be because they were harder cast, larger Maplas, or was it because I moved the coupons 15 yards further than they were before, and perhaps the bullets have stabilized? I don't know. You let me know in the comments what you think. But that's a data point. The other data point is that the lower velocity hard cast round penetrated a lot further than the high velocity. And what you guys have the benefit of right now is you've already seen the GoPro footage, and so you know whether or not the energy transfer on the high velocity round was visible, the higher energy transfer, because the energy's got to go somewhere. And so my guess is that there's going to be a much bigger explosion out of the watermelons because that energy has left in the watermelons, and there wasn't any energy left to get through a whole bunch of water jugs. So, man, is this fun or what? And I know some of you guys are still with me and some of you guys are long gone, but I'll see you in the next video. So long.